It's the Sergio.
Hey everybody, this is Sergio Dominguez here for the audio commentary of Season 7 of The Sergio Show. So yeah, this was another season of the goal that I was having of making 50 episodes in less than 2 years. Have it done by 2013. So, yeah, this was the beginning where I uploaded Season 6 in an orderly fashion, and while I was uploading in an orderly fashion, I would make episodes for Season 7, 10 episode season, and have this system of odd numbers being review episodes and even numbers being story-driven character episodes, stuff like that. So, how do I get here? How do I get there? How do I get anywhere? So this, just trying to make sense of it, but, this is just, a lot of the seasons from, Season 6 to Season 10 are just the same thing when it comes to systematically. All from Season 6 to Season 9 or so, we're done all in 2012. Because I started in early 2012, finished up to Season 9 or so in 2012. So really I did the most episodes I ever did for the series in that year. 2012 was a golden year for the show in terms of production. I got to make so many cartoons with the time I had, and then with the way I was making them, I got to make them efficiently and upload them properly in an orderly fashion at the time. It really was a good time. Views weren't there, but they were promising. I kept getting like an average 200 views a month at the time or so, more or less. From Season 6 to Season 9 or so, But that's how it was like at the time. A lot of me working, but very happily working. There were times I would work really hard on the episodes, but there's going to be one episode I will talk about that I worked on the fastest because it was a fun episode, but it was surprisingly grueling, but I wanted to make it really badly. But we'll get to it. It's in this season. So what do we have now? Let's see. This episode talks about cartoons and music, which is, part of the animation satire of the whole, music used in cartoons, very joyful, expressive. Obviously, it's used in filmmaking in general, but in this case, it's used for that too. But this music I think I previously made, but that's the re-edited episode. Nice animation on the eyes. Yeah, the original episode was a clip review episode, and I reviewed cartoon video games. Yeah, that was the case. Cartoon video games. And not really much to say about this. It is, a substitute of an episode. And that was, episode 61. Not much to say about it, but here comes episode 62. This one's a pretty unique episode. I can talk about that.
Sergio Studios. The Sergio Show.
Alright, episode 62. I remember I was brainstorming episodes for the show in college at the time, and I thought of an idea of what if Sergio had an alien and he had different ways to take care of an alien. Because in pop culture, whenever there's a movie that has an alien in it, there's always storylines about how to deal with it. They keep it, return it. So many options, so much in pop culture. Do they kill it? People have so many outcomes when it comes to aliens, with alien characters in family movies, horror movies. So I wanted to make an episode where I deal with that. It's out of the ordinary, but I did use a couple of cartoon jokes, a couple of movie references that actually didn't make it to the edited version. The original version was this really long episode with so many options. And here I use a knockoff kind of design character as a parody of a certain alien being from a well-known movie, but you know what I'm getting at.
Wait, what? No? Well, that's okay.
But yeah, that was a fun episode to make. I remember it was fun. The jokes were pretty comical.
Option 1.
I think there was one joke I cut. I
to
don't know.
talk to
I'm
it
watching it
like
right now and
this.
seeing what it's
Me,
like.
Sergio
I think I
Dominguez.
cropped. Yeah, you
Me,
see zoom in
human
crops
being,
and
life force
cuts, and
in
I
me.
think I can even show
I
the design
come
of the alien,
from
maybe because it's too
planet
accurate to what
Earth.
I'm satirizing.
What
But
is your
I think I was just trying to be
name?
careful with my tracks on this one.
It's
But there really
E.T.,
was one joke
okay?
that was, I
Just
honestly, I
because
think
I
a little
look
too
like a
far.
special
A
alien doesn't
little
mean
too far,
I get to
but
be treated as
I think it
one.
got cut.
All
I'm
right,
watching it
I
right now.
can
I'm
hear
trying to see
you
how it
just
is.
fine.
But me doing the voice of the
Option
alien
2,
parody.
feed it. There's a chance that aliens have stomachs.
Yeah,
And
with the editing
there's
software, I
even
just
a
zoomed in
slimmer
on a
chance
couple
that
of
it
things
eats
because I don't think it
non-human
worked.
flesh things.
And some of the
So be
backgrounds are not
nice
drawn by
and give
me,
it
so
some food.
I'm just trying to
Give
hide
it
it
some
somewhere
old,
digitally
moldy,
with editing
leftover
effects.
rotten food first.
But I do remember having a good time recording this. So
Option
good jokes.
3, play with it. Some aliens can be playful, so go on and play with it on some simple games, like this one. Go ahead, alien, fetch!
I think I put an air hockey table. There it is. Yeah, call back to
Option
episode
8, we give
3
it
or
to
so.
government. If you think
Oh,
you
this
can't
introduces
handle
these
your
characters
very
that
own
I would
alien,
use later on the
then try
series.
giving
The
it to
military guy and the
government,
other,
like
the
so.
assistant or the backup.
Thanks for
Yeah,
giving
they were
us
like,
the
yeah,
alien.
like one-note
You're
characters
welcome.
just there for
My
that
alien be
episode, but later on I
okay?
would use them
We
again
could
in the
assure you
series.
that we're
They would make
probably gonna
cameos
run
and
some
appear.
painful
Unfortunately,
experiments
one of
on
them
the
has a
alien
really
until it
unfortunate
dies.
fate, but you know, we'll get to it when we get to
You
it.
hear that? You're gonna be part of an experiment. Have fun. Option 9, send it to space. If your alien
Send
friend
it to
is homesick,
space.
then you have no choice but to send it back to space. Okay, alien, it's time to take you back home now. But unfortunately, I can't afford a rocket ship, so I got this huge slingshot on a box ready for you. So anyway, bye-bye, alien friend.
That's all edited. Yep. Of course.
There he goes, off to the deepest part of space where no man has gone before to be back with his loved ones, and he just landed on the road. Ouch. And that's all we have for this episode.
Yeah, there was more
of
segments.
The
Yeah, I did cut out that
Sergio
one
Show.
inappropriate
I hope
scene.
you liked
It was too
and if you
inappropriate, but
didn't,
with all
then
the
I
options, might as well have an
apologize.
option
I
of
thought
this
it was a
as
good
a
idea at
joke,
the time.
and it makes noises, but it turns out it's not the
I'm
alien,
Sergio
it's me.
Dominguez, saying
For people
have
who
an
originally saw it,
animated day.
they got it. Oh, and there was also a scene where I get probed, almost probed, because I also deal with other cartoon aliens you actually didn't see in the episode. They all just find me and they're like, yes, we got you now. And you're gonna get probed. Yay. So there was more jokes, more comedy, but overall unique episode and I liked it.
Sergio Studios.
Alright, episode 63. Yep, this was a clip episode of this animated internet series that was also very popular based on a video game character. But that's cut and I had to think of another idea. And one of those ideas was cheeseburger. I have to take advantage and make an episode about about me or what I like. I talked about tape, cartoons. What's next? Cheeseburger! Yum! I love cheeseburgers. Yes, they made me the unhealthy man that I am today, but I love it. Just improvise about that for a little bit. Drew some cheeseburger drawings. There's also some cheeseburger graphics. This was when all the drawings were done in the software and the Wacom tablet, and yeah, this was fair. This came out fair, but it's funny to see some of the animation and the movements for different contexts and different idea. Yep. The animation I can only do is like simple motion graphics of cartoons and stuff. Yep.
Introduced me to the kid-sized cheeseburger. Took a nice big old bite, and I was in love with it ever since. Oh, I can't just stop eating those cheeseburgers.
Yep, a nice zoom in on the cheeseburger. Now I think it's just staying there. Alright, back to old animation.
Cheeseburgers and order the salad. Cheeseburgers. I would just feel so excited and have this joy in my heart once the cheeseburger is ready for me, served in front of me, and then I salt the that thing, more mayonnaise that thing, and then eat it like a beast. It just makes me so happy, so joyful to consume this cheeseburger.
I'm just watching this. I'm trying to see if anything else I can say about it.
All of the process you would do with this food, it would just be a wonderful experience for me.
I say me and I just pointed to me. Yeah, it works.
The cheeseburger will give me such a delightful joy that I've never experienced in my life.
Yeah.
Even though I've ordered the cheeseburger in so many places throughout my life, dozens and dozens of trillions of times. The way I personally like my cheeseburger setup is with double stacked patties and cheese 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 times. Then I want it served on a side of delicious.
Yeah, I was really just talking about cheeseburgers and what I like on it. I was just trying to get the most out of the episode and out of the character and out of the animation I had. But, that's what I was trying to go through with this series. At least the re-edited version of the series. Yeah, the previous original version of the episode review of this series, it was fun, but the jokes were not that good, honestly. For the original version of this episode, it wasn't the best. There was one joke that didn't work on these video game characters, and I picked up random episodes, even though at the time it was almost a finished series, but I'm a little bit fuzzy on that. So yeah, because I don't want to say skim through the series, I just watched some of the episodes.
Well, with that tasty note in mind in your brain tummy, I'm going to end this episode right now. Thank you very much for watching this tasty episode of The Sergio Show. I'm Sergio.
And we reached the end of the episode. Yeah, weak episode. If I was going to do an episode of something I love, it would be better than just talking about it. But, I also did tape, did just talking. But, yeah, at some point I will do more. I'll do something more interesting than that. I gotta ultimately... I've done more stuff with cheeseburgers on different kinds of videos and other parts of episodes of the show. But this is just a setup episode.
Sergio Studios. The Sergio Show.
Alright, episode 64. Another time travel episode. I think it was a 6-1. Yep. And we traveled to the 80s. Look, I'm a 90s kid, born in the 90s, grew up with 90s content. There were reruns of cartoons from the 80s, but not that much, actually. Like, a lot of the well-known 80s cartoons, I'm like, I have not seen this in the channels that I grew up on. Because I've seen new cartoons that were from the magical time of the 90s. Oh, was this episode completely cut? I think it was, like, severely cut. Yeah, this episode was one of the time travel episodes that got cut brutally. Because everything was a reference of something that pre-existed and pre-existing IPs. So I was like, nah, this thing is almost unsalvageable. That's why it just cuts to this. But it was mostly an episode where I go to a couple of 80s cartoons and I'm just upset about how sell-outy these cartoon toys are. Because, they were based on toys and stuff that can only make money. But that was, 80s cartoons back then. A lot of people love and respect them nowadays. But it was like that at the time. And as a 90s child cartoon looking at these 80s cartoons with But it was supposed to be a joke that he wasn't all that happy about it. Except for one cartoon. And that was kind of the episode.
Sergio Studios.
It's the Sergio.
Ooh, 65. Now this one was a nice one. The original and the edited. Yep. So originally, it was also a internet animated series review, but it was part of a sketch series, and it was stop motion, and it had dinosaurs. It was so adorable and so well done. And I reviewed it, and there was a point in the original review where I compliment the dinosaurs' voices, and it cuts to me as a cartoon dinosaur that you're seeing right now, and I liked it. Like the joke and dinosaur me. I just drew that in just seconds. So yeah, it was a clip review episode, so that had to go away in favor for something else. But I liked the dinosaur me joke, to the point where I decided to turn myself into a cartoon dinosaur as an episode. So I repurposed that clip and instead actually tried to make a story out of it. The story about dinosaur Sergio. But the thing is, I did not want to animate anything. I did not want to spend time reanimating or animating anything new that's like character animation. You know, so what do? So I just use just still images, still static images of cartoon dinosaur Sergio. That's the new drawings. And some of them had to be reused, and I just changed facial expressions and some other effects. It had to be quick and simple, but still tell a story. And this is a narrative story. Originally, it was going to be an actual animated story. And the character was going to be animated, and there's going to be more to it. But no, I had to reduce it to just still images, some static drawings, and narration. Well, this is actually a nice trick. Yeah, this is all editing, but it gets a point across. The story is Dinosaur Sergio almost invents animation. Or at least you know how animation is, can be done through the, visual. You see? Persistence of vision. Persistence of vision.
This kind of concept blew Dinosaur Sergio's mind. Being so impressed.
It's actually a pretty decent episode, actually, even with just being so limited. Came out really well as an edited version. But in the original review episode, there was this technique I figured out how to put myself over the cartoon. It's just, it wasn't clips. There had to be paused static images because I can bring it into the software and bring the character into the scene. As for, while it's a video, it couldn't be done. Yeah, I drew that pretty quick. It came out well. It came off all really simple. You don't see volcanoes, you didn't see other rocks, but it just had to be simple enough. It still got the point across. I think it's funny. Fire is discovered at this time, but he doesn't care because he's trying to discover animation, which it makes sense. Dinosaur Sergio makes sense. I want to do more with Dinosaur Sergio. I got to do something more. I think I figured something out just now, but we'll see. We'll see. But actually, really good episode. Original and this version's nice. It is pretty charming, with its limitations. Yeah, I brought back at least one piece of the original clip. Not bad of an episode. That actually was good. That was a good watch. Probably could be one of my favorite episodes just because of that concept. And the story's cute and simple. It is also very character based with Dinosaur Sergio also loving animation. Good episode.
Sergio Studios. Hi,
Alright, another nice episode. This is Uncle Polaco. He's back, baby! And this came from a nice real place because I used to have a pool and I hate cleaning it so much. So I thought of an idea. What if Uncle Polaco tries to clean the pool? And he has to because he bothered me really badly. And I liked it and I liked how it worked. Yeah, him appearing is based on something. What is it based on? Oh, an internet video I saw. This guy interrupting another guy on the news. That's how he appeared like that awkwardly. It was a nice reappearance. Those tattoos are actually real images of my uncle's tattoos, and I just edited around it and just put it on his arms. It didn't look good, and I didn't like how it came out later on. I feel like maybe it looks really off. So later on, and the next time I think you see him, maybe it will be redrawn by me. Because I realized I missed a couple designs, tattoos and an earring. I designed it because he had tattoos and earrings before. But I drew the earring, and later on I would redraw the tattoos.
Be punished. Okay. There you
go. this one's funny because I don't want to. No, this didn't happen, but he's a loony character. He could make that happen. He's outrageous. Doing that. There's another internet video reference that I liked that I actually put in the episode. There's a couple of internet video references and jokes throughout the series, but they're generally entertaining.
Clean the family pool.
Now this pool I did draw. I think I drew it in a different software and brought it into here.
and you have to
Yeah,
clean
and
it.
this will be based on the pool I used to have.
I knew it. Look,
Yeah,
it's not
the episode
that
is
bad.
pretty
I
good.
gotta go wash my face.
Oh,
and
that
do
fade
other
out is
things.
because
When
I think I
get
cut
back,
out
this
a
pool
scene because
better
that
be
was the
clean
internet video
completely.
reference.
Okay?
Yeah, I just ultimately fell down in a dirty pool. I said earlier there was an episode that I worked really hard on all night. I remember this was the episode. This is the episode where I worked for hours. There was one good day that I actually worked on this, and there was one day where I was just working on it until the morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to like 6, 7, until sunrise. From the afternoon to sunrise, I remember.
Wow.
This was the episode I
Uncle,
worked on.
I gotta say that you did a
Probably
great
until
job.
like morning, the sun
But,
rose. It
you
was
know,
insane.
It's okay.
And I was hoping this episode would be 10 minutes long at the time, but
I gotta
ended up
say,
being
it
7
isn't
minutes.
truly perfect until someone
but
goes in.
It actually
So,
came out really
I'm gonna
well
go in and
for
try
like the
pool
limited
out.
time that I had, because
Now,
I was
I'm
like,
gonna go put on my
yeah, I
swim
think I can do it
trunks,
one day.
So I will take
Which I did.
5
I want to
minutes.
say I worked on not in one day. There hasn't been an episode of the show where I really worked on one day,
Very
unless
funny,
you count the
Uncle,
edited
very
episodes, which I
funny.
don't. But yeah,
Luckily, I didn't bring anything electrical with me.
this episode was like one of the toughest episodes I worked on. Where
It's
I
actually good.
worked literally till the
Not
morning.
too cold, not too hot. It's just right.
Yeah, water
Good
should be
job.
moving. But I love the jokes in this. I love how my
Yeah,
uncle was dealing
what's
with the
great is that you
pool.
didn't even
It was
manage
very
to screw
cartoony and
this
loony
one
for
up.
him,
And
and it makes sense. Yep.
Deal, what's
Of course,
that?
the shark would be here. That was good.
It's,
Good
an,
idea. Really
shark.
funny.
Yeah,
Of course,
it's
my
a-
uncle would
it's a
clean the pool and
shark.
put in a gosh darn shark.
Where did you get
Of
it?
course, my uncle would do
The
that.
shark store. How did you get it?
Just
I
joking.
bought it. Why did you get it? So you get something to play with, you know, a pool toy. You're a dumbass. I know. You
Said
too.
dumbass. Oh yeah, I
Great.
cut it
I
because
would
it was
swim for my life,
too
but
smart or
I'm too
something.
scared and too lazy to move. That and my pants are too thick to move in water. Well, that's all for this episode
that plot
of
hole.
the Sergio Show, kind of. Thanks to my uncle for cleaning the pool and killing me. I'm Sergio Dominguez saying
This was
have
a
an
well done
animated-
episode too. Even the edited version, it's still a pretty self-explained episode. Very fun, well done episode. I remember I worked on this. I remember finishing in one day like a beast. It was intense. It was one of the few episodes where I worked until it was like morning, because I felt like I was almost done. There were so many things I wanted to work on that day. So fun to make. Pretty good episode.
Sergio Studios.
It's the Sergio Show.
Okay, another clip review episode. This is from, at the time this animation channel came about, it only uploaded a couple of cartoons. Just a little bit of a couple of cartoons at the time. And I decided, I'll just review these couple of cartoons from this animation channel. But I found out this channel would grow so quickly, so fast, to the point where these cartoons are not even relevant. They actually have better animated internet series for the channel. It is part of a big company too. So that episode barely mattered in its original form. It doesn't have any relevance. Jokes were too simple. Nothing really hilarious. And I had to replace it with a concept, and it was, promoting the show. I thought, okay. At this point in season 7, sounds like about right, but can it really be done? Can you tell me that? And I'm just doing funny voice right now to just stall. Yeah, this was drawn quick. Billboard, of course, a quick ass square with some me scribbling on text. Yep, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah, the original channel that was poking fun of it was a okay video, but really not many laughs, and the videos on it didn't matter because they had a couple of series. Yeah, I was poking fun of something that was just not barely ready for this world. Well, ready for this world, but it had more to offer. So a re-edited version of this episode had to be done.
Everywhere, because there's social media networks everywhere. Third and the most common part of promoting
I wish I can do a Sergio Show commercial. Oh, I've done that. I've done something like that. Nobody cares about watching them. There's some promos for the show, like little promos that are on the Sergio Studios Extra channel. But the thing is, they are not that relevant once the episodes do come out. And now you're just stuck with this video on this channel that doesn't matter because they already released the season and such. No. But that's how it happened. Commercial online, which I've done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even back then, internet animation has really changed today, where there's so many of them online done by professionals, and they're even making their way from the internet to television. That's amazing and insane. And animation is an amazing process. People love cartoons. Adults, for children, they're entertaining. You can do a lot of them. A lot of entertaining offers out of cartoons.
Anyway, that's all I can think of right now about promoting and ways to promote certain things. In this case, the Sergio Show.
Yeah, there are moments where the lip sync sounds like it makes sense, while other times it sounds off. But, the movements are very, all over the place because Toon Boom's dealing with them. But at moments it looks like it sounds like I got lucky and it sounds perfectly synced. And that was the episode. Pretty simple episode. It had to replace this episode because the original version of the episode it wasn't good. Only because the decision of what I was reviewing really didn't have any relevance. Yeah, it got really irrelevant real quick. I was originally going to, at some point in the future, do more reviews from that channel, especially when they had a series, this well-known series, but that had to go by on that one.
Sergio Studios. It's the Sergio Show.
Okay, now this one's a nice episode. This one's a good episode. This one, I remember I was walking around my neighborhood to get some exercise, some energy. I know, me exercise? Really? What's wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was thinking, and I always have great ideas and daydream a lot while I walk. And I always love those classic cartoons, the cartoon chasing another cartoon, cat versus mouse, cat versus bird, one animal versus another animal, and I wanted my own version of that for an episode. So Sergio has to chase somebody for some reason, So I thought, how about my little baby sister? But for what reason? What if she is the, little cartoon bird? But what does she have that makes me want to chase her in a very classic cartoon way? That is my pennies. I always had these pennies. I collect pennies, and I love that it was a decoration for the show. So that's how that idea came about. Wanted my own classic cartoon kind of thing. So there would be montages of me trying to get the pennies. And this is the new redesign of Marilyn, of my little sister, youngest sister Marilyn. Originally her design was so off. It was supposed to be adorable little girl, but it came off really, really weird. So I ended up redesigning her and introduced the redesign in this episode. My sister still reprised her role for this episode, and she was very happy about it. She signed off on this design. She actually liked it. Yeah, we try to set this up to make it possible that he's, trying to go from the bottom building to the top building without any ladders or stairs. I was trying to find an excuse to just simply use a building, these cartoons, and these simple little drawings to get this whole thing across, and it worked, actually. I want to say this is also the introduction to the Sergio Studios building, because the show takes place in his own home studio, so I think this is also an introduction to the Sergio Studios building. Later on, the Sergio Studios building also would be redesigned to clarify some drawings, and yeah. This episode was the introduction to Sergio Studios building. And it would have more and more appearances later on in this series. But I really like the building. And I also like this episode. There's one actual scene that actually got cut. and I really liked the scene. It was based on a cartoon, classic cartoon, believe it or not, where it was this cartoon bird bothering this cartoon cat, and the cartoon bird was hurting the cartoon cat in a very comical way while bouncing up and down from one place to another. I love that joke. I pretty much reenacted it with my animation. I even made my little sister say a line from the short, but that unfortunately got cut. My little sister acting is so adorable in this one. Oh, I love the sacrifice. This one's cute, even with all the drama. They're still loving this character, Sergio. Oh my god, what a sweetheart! Putting family over money. It's cute. It's a well, even edited. It's a well done episode. Yeah, this is one of those ones where even edited it came out well. Yeah, that montage was sped up because the pacing of it was too slow. A lot of the things he was trying were too slow, and a lot of them got cut.
Thank God. The jar of pennies are okay. They're just on the ground.
So yeah,
Now, how am I
a lot of things cut, but the episode still came out good. And you see, my little sister.
That's all for this episode of the Marilyn Show.
I love that Marilyn. She actually improvised that line that this is the Marilyn Show. Love that. Good touch. So cute. It should be real. The Marilyn Show should be real. But yeah, good episode. Good episode. Yeah, season 7 has some weak episodes, but they also have some good moments. It has its moments, season 7. Yeah. That was cute. I remember I was excited to make the episode, and I put it together, and I got excited. There was a mistake, but I fixed it early on in the beginning of the scene of the episode, but fixed it on later.
Sergio Studios.
Good episode.
It's the Sergio
All right.
Show.
69. Get it? Episode 69. This is a review of one animated short on the internet, but I gotta cut it out. Oh boy. And it became a different kind of episode. We talking about cartoon cats. Since the previous season, I think in the same episode number or not, I talked about cartoon dogs. So this one, cartoon cats. Why not? Because there have been a lot of cartoon cats. You can name about 100 cartoon cats that are either well known or easy to remember. Because people somehow like cats. Cats are okay. I'm a dog person. But cats, they don't like you. And they don't like me. And the big ones, they hate you the most. Me trying to be funny with an audio commentary. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do is try to finish this commentary. Almost done, but this is a pretty short season. Excuse me. It's been a pretty short season, but the next season it is apparently a lot shorter. A lot shorter. Ain't that something? But we'll get to it soon. This is me trying to make up stuff about cartoon cats. But cartoon cats are fun. They're hilarious. You obviously hear the cliche cartoon sound effect, meow, and stuff like that.
You see, the simplest form of a cartoon cat is really just a cat that's a cartoon. Like live action cat, but with outlines and a little...
That's right. Improvise your way out of this episode, me. You know you can do it. You can improvise at least 3 minutes. Oh, wow. I actually had time to do like a little reflection on the bottom. I never knew that. I never knew I had time to do reflection on the bottom. Me trying to do detail, and the reflection doesn't matter because the zoom in. And look at me. Me trying to set examples of designs, but it's all repetitive. Of course, you can take something, add, a shirt and gloves and whatever prop.
Then you see them batting on yarns while talking like regular human beings, living life like human beings with occasional feline attitude and personality also. I know a lot of people are cat fans, cat cartoon fans, and people do have their favorite cartoon characters who are cats from movies, TVs, and especially...
Yeah, this lip sync is a little off, but...
from the
old recording with a...
I'm okay with cats.
Old animation.
Cats, as of this recording, I don't
See.
have a pet cat, but I understand why they exist, these cartoon cats, and cats in general.
Yeah, this random movement doesn't work for simple talking. He was just shaking his head over talking about cats.
Just okay, even if they are animated.
Yeah, these kinds of ideas could have been just like story episodes. Like they go to a place where it has that item and they just talk about it. I had early on ideas of that, but maybe I'll get to it in the future. 69, it had to be done. Yeah, 69, of course, you guys, of course. But yeah, I think the original episode was also pretty nice. It had a lot of jokes for just being a maybe, what was it, 6-minute cartoon? It was a cute video, originally. But we're on our way to the season finale. Yeah, this was put together pretty well.
Sergio Studios.
Alright, season finale, episode 70. Yep, this originally had song parodies, so many different kinds. But originally, yeah, song parodies. How many? This is the 6th song parody or 6? But yeah, originally song parodies, yeah. But originally as an edited episode, it was gonna be as an edited episode. Originally, it was gonna be me asking for an award consideration for, I don't know, whatever. But I realized it doesn't make sense because this is supposed to be an old episode. Even though it's re-uploaded it with a new purpose, like it was new, everything was old, and it was supposed to have the mindset and supposed to take place of its time, which is 2012. Yeah, I'm gonna try to not bring up the year, try to make it sound like it could have been made at the time, even though I added new editing and effects. But no, I was trying to pull this off like I could have made this in that time period. But instead I changed it to like random designs of ugly cartoons. That was quickly improvised and had to make most of it. But wow, honestly, pretty interesting season. There have been some very weak episodes. Let's see. This episode was weak. That episode was good. Episode weak. Yeah, that was also weak. The time travel episode. Dinosaur Sergio was very good. My uncle episode was very good. Promoting the Sergio show week. The Maryland episode was very good. And Cartoon Cats was weak, and the ugly cartoon character was off. Pretty off, yeah. So it was like 1, 2, 3. Out of the 10, only 4 were not only good, but really good. It could have made up for that season because the other episodes were unfortunately weak. And even the 4 good episodes that were edited were, those ugly drawings look nice. Yeah, there was a pimple, there was that. Improvised the heck out of that. Yeah, I just drew on the spot. Yeah, but the 4 episodes that are good are really good. Even as edited, they're pretty good. They're not bad. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Proud of myself on that one. So season 7, weak episodes, but the good episodes are very good. It has some memorable episodes. Well done episodes. Even edited. Very good. So not bad. There we go, season 7. Decent season when it comes to the good episodes. The good episodes are really good. Weak episodes, just weak. Just weak, but they're easy to pass through. They service their purpose. Thank you for listening to the season 7 commentary of the Sergio Show. Thank you very much for listening. Put your comments down below of whatever it is. I'm Sergio Dominguez saying, have an animated day.
Sergio Studios.